Hi, folks. I'm Lee Scandinaro. You're watching MeadvilleCalendar.com. We're here with a pretty cool person. Do you want to say who you are and what's going on?
Sure. My name is Flannery Pillion-Gardner. I am the PR director and also one of the music directors for WARC, which is Allegheny College's radio station. I'm here to talk a little bit about the station and let you guys know sort of what we do and how we do it.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today, Flannery. Can we start by why don't you just tell us like a little bit about yourself, like where are you coming from? I'm taking you're an Allegheny student. What's going on in Allegheny for you?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a senior at Allegheny. I'm an English major, German and history double minor. I've been involved in WARC for, since first semester freshman year. So this is my fourth year. I've always loved music. My dad and I have really bonded over music. And since I had the opportunity to share music with people and to like actually be on the radio, I was really excited to take that up. And then I just kept doing it, and they had some openings on the board. So I decided to apply. I've been on the board since last year. And it's really cool to be involved, especially now since everything, a lot of clubs can't run because of COVID and everything. So to be one of the clubs that's up and running and still able to make connections with people through this club. And to also connect to the greater Meadville community, because sometimes I get people calling in who I've never talked to before who live in Meadville. And it's so cool to know people are actually listening and that they enjoy the show.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm a longtime fan, former DJ. I used to host a shift called the Dream Team. I'm sure it was totally original. Um, I want you to talk a little bit about like what is WARC, like how does the WARC run? Like talk specifically about like, you sign up to be a DJ as a student and like what do you do?
Yeah, so you sign up. We usually send out signups a couple weeks in, and you fill out, what your show is going to be about, what your name is. There's some really good names. I don't know. Sometimes you listen just because of the name, and then sort of what kind of music you're going to be playing or what music you focus on, what time you'd like to do it, and then we have someone on the board make a schedule for the semester. And so you come in once a week, there's a 2-hour time slot, and you play music. And there are some rules like, no explicit music. You can't play. There's certain things you can play after 10 p.m., but there are certain things you just can never play. So you have to like learn that. We have to do training. So basically training takes like 15 minutes, and I just take people around the studio. I show them how to use like the soundboard, how to use the CD player. We used to have record players, but I think they're both broken right now. So, but sometimes we show people how to use those, how to talk into the mic, play PSAs. And it's pretty daunting when you first walk in there because there's so much equipment, but you can get the hang of it in like 10 minutes. It's super easy. And usually people just like hook up a Spotify playlist. We have a request line, so it's really fun when people call in and request songs. We are a nonprofit, so we can't play like advertisements. We just do PSAs. So we play some about like the YMCA, about different health things or animal shelters. And as a member of the board, I believe right now there are about 8 of us, I want to say. And we have an advisor, but it's mostly just like student run. And we have meetings every week where we just sort of figure out like, do we want to do events? How's training going? Are there ways we want to get people more involved? This year it's like pretty hard because COVID, so we can't have concerts and stuff. But we're trying to put together an online concert, a virtual concert. So hopefully that will work sometime in November. But yeah, it's like a really cool group to be a part of, because even if you're not on the board, it's just like a bunch of people who like music and like hanging out. We usually do like a get together at least once a semester, but again, can't really do that this year. So it does feel a little weird because there is kind of like a disconnect almost. But even just like walking into the studio and seeing someone having a show or just like people hanging out there doing homework, it's a really nice community.
That's awesome. And what I heard you say, so like as an audience member, if you tune into WARC, which is WARC 90.3, you're basically hearing a different kind of selection of tunes every 2 hours. That's
Yep.
what I'm hearing, right? So, you kind of mentioned that you're kind of a big music fan, and I wonder if you can like tell me like how do you choose what you're going to play for those 2 hours? Like what goes into that selection?
Yeah, so for the past 3 years, I've done like theme shows. So like every week I would choose a different theme. And like I think it was 2 years ago, my show was like A to Z with FPG. So like every week I would choose a theme and I'd go through the alphabet. So like the first song would begin with A and the last song would begin with Z. That was really hard. And I ended up not being able to play as much music as I would have liked. So this year, my show is Flandemic Radio. And I just sort of play music that I've been listening to during the pandemic that I like, stuff like that. This past week was kind of hard. So last night I had my radio show and I just played a bunch of music that makes me feel happy. And I had my family and like friends request a bunch of songs. But usually it's just sort of what I'm feeling at the moment or music that I like. I kind of jump all over the place though. And I like a wide variety of music. So it's usually like a very back and forth playlist. So if you tune in, like you'll definitely hear, there will be something that you like and there will be something that you don't like, but something for everyone. But it's sort of just like spur of the moment, honestly, this year. And I kind of like that better because it's sort of like, I don't know, I just play whatever I like. But I know a lot of people do theme shows. And I think that's also, that kind of makes you more creative in a way. So I think that people get really into their shows. I mean, some people definitely show up and just like press shuffle, but some people show up and they have like a carefully cultivated playlist they've been working on for a week. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned because like I think why I like listening to work is because it's like the only way I discover new music. And
Mm-hmm.
like you're right, sometimes I'm listening, I'm like, wow, this song really blows, but I'm like glad I heard it, glad I got a chance to like experience like something that's not Beyonce for a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so that's really cool. All right, about to wrap up here. Any final thoughts about work, which again is 90.3? Any final thoughts?
I guess I just say it's a really cool station. I hope that I wish that more people would listen to it, and also like it is. I think it is a way that Allegheny connects with the greater Meadville community, and I think that that's really important. So yeah, I just encourage people to listen to it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for checking in with us, Flannery, and we'll see you on the town Meadville. Thanks.
Thank you so much.